Good morning, business leaders. This is Mom Lags. Today we will be discussing the last topics in this period. Watch until the end for the announcement. Art history and movements. Art evolves with civilization, from prehistoric cave paintings to modern innovations. Ancient and medieval art focused on religion and power, while the Renaissance revived realism. Later movements, from Baroque drama to Impressionist light and Cubist abstraction, reshaped expression. Each era reflects societal shifts, shaping art's future. 1. Revisiting the glorious past. On art history. Art history provides a chronological record of artistic movements and their significant contributions to culture, society, and human expression. It spans from the earliest known artistic expressions to contemporary digital art forms. A. Prehistoric period. The prehistoric period includes the earliest known artistic expressions by humans. These artworks were mostly cave paintings, carvings, and sculptures made from natural materials. Example, Lascaux cave paintings, France. These intricate cave paintings depict animals, such as bison, deer, and horses, created using natural pigments like charcoal and ochre. They showcase early humans' deep connection to their environment and reliance on hunting for survival. The artworks also suggest early forms of storytelling and spiritual practices. B. River civilizations. The river civilizations flourished along fertile river banks, influencing the art and culture of early societies. Example, the Standard of Ur. This rectangular box from Mesopotamia is inlaid with lapis lazuli, shell, and red limestone, portraying contrasting scenes of war and peace. The panels are arranged in registers, illustrating a structured and hierarchical society. It reflects the artistic and political sophistication of early civilization. 2. Egyptian art. Egyptian art was deeply connected to religious beliefs, with a focus on life after death. Example, the Great Sphinx of Giza. This massive limestone sculpture features the body of a lion and the head of Pharaoh Khafre, symbolizing strength and wisdom. It was likely built as a guardian figure to protect the pyramids and the tombs within. Its enigmatic expression continues to intrigue scholars and visitors worldwide. 3. Classicism, the Greco-Roman art, c. Greek art. Greek art emphasized idealized human forms and balanced compositions. Example, the Parthenon, Athens. This Doric temple dedicated to Athena showcases perfect symmetry and proportion, embodying the Greek pursuit of architectural perfection. The use of marble and intricate friezes depicting mythological battles highlight both artistic and engineering mastery. It remains a symbol of democracy and cultural achievement. D. Roman art. Roman art borrowed from Greek art focused on realism and grandeur. Example, Augustus of Prima Porta. This life-sized marble statue depicts Emperor Augustus in a heroic, godlike pose, showcasing his divine right to rule. The detailed cuirass breastplate illustrates Rome's military victories and diplomatic success. The contrapposto stance, borrowed from Greek art, gives the figure a dynamic yet authoritative presence. 4. The medieval period. A. Music of the Middle Ages. Medieval music was dominated by Gregorian chants and monophonic compositions. Example, Gregorian chant. A sacred monophonic vocal music used in Catholic liturgies, known for its calm, flowing melody. It was written in Latin and followed a free, speech-like rhythm. Its spiritual and meditative quality aimed to elevate the listener's connection to the divine. B. Early Christian art. Early Christian art focused on religious iconography and symbolism. Example, the Good Shepherd, Catacomb of Priscilla. This fresco portrays Christ as a humble shepherd carrying a lamb, symbolizing salvation. The naturalistic yet simple style reflects early Christian efforts to communicate religious messages discreetly. It highlights themes of protection, guidance, and sacrifice. C. Byzantine art. Byzantine art featured rich mosaics and religious themes with stylized figures. Example, Hagia Sophia mosaics. These golden mosaics depict Christ and the Virgin Mary in a radiant, heavenly glow. Their stylized, solemn expressions emphasize divine authority and transcendence. The intricate use of light and color creates a spiritual ambience within the grand architecture of the Hagia Sophia. D. Romanesque art. Romanesque art was characterized by massive structures with rounded arches and simple compositions. Example, the Basilica of Saint Sernin, France. This grand church features barrel vaults and sturdy rounded arches, exemplifying Romanesque architecture. The interior is designed for pilgrimage with an extended nave and radiating chapels. Its heavy, fortress-like appearance reflects medieval stability and faith. E. Gothic art. Gothic art introduced pointed arches, ribbed vaults, and elaborate stained glass windows. Example, Notre Dame Cathedral, Paris. This masterpiece of Gothic architecture features soaring arches, stunning stained glass windows, and detailed sculptures. Its iconic facade includes intricate biblical scenes and gargoyles that serve both aesthetic and functional purposes. The cathedral's towering presence evokes a sense of spiritual transcendence. The 15th century. F. Renaissance. The Renaissance was a revival of classical art and humanism. Example, The Birth of Venus by Sandro Botticelli. This painting illustrates the mythological birth of Venus, emerging gracefully from the sea on a shell. The flowing lines and soft colors emphasize elegance and divine beauty. The composition reflects the Renaissance interest in classical mythology and idealized human forms. The 16th century. Mannerism. Mannerism featured exaggerated proportions and complex compositions. Example, Madonna with the Long Neck by Parmigianino. This painting presents the Virgin Mary with an unnaturally elongated neck, giving her a statuesque grace. The distorted proportions and crowded composition create a sense of tension. The ethereal, dreamlike quality reflects Mannerism's experimental approach to form. The 17th and 18th centuries. G. Rococo. Rococo art was light, decorative, and playful. Example, The Swing by Jean-Honoré Fragonard. This painting portrays a young woman while a hidden admirer gazes at her. The soft pastel colors and lush garden setting reflect the whimsical and romantic nature of Rococo art. The dynamic movement and flirtatious tone contrast with the seriousness of Baroque art. Baroque art. Baroque art emphasized drama, movement, and grandeur. Example, The Calling of St. Matthew by Caravaggio. This painting dramatically depicts Christ calling Matthew to follow him, using a striking contrast of light and darkness. The composition captures a moment of spiritual transformation with realistic figures and intense emotions. Caravaggio's use of chiaroscuro creates depth and highlights the divine presence within the ordinary setting. The late 18th century. Neo-Classicism. Neo-Classicism revived classical ideals of harmony and order. Example, The Oath of the Horatii by Jacques-Louis David. This painting depicts three brothers swearing loyalty to Rome, highlighting themes of duty and sacrifice. The rigid, structured composition and dramatic lighting enhance the solemnity of the moment. It serves as a political and moral statement, emphasizing honor and patriotism. 10. The late 19th century. Art in the late 19th century saw shifts toward modernity, realism, and experimentation. Example, A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jette by Georges Seurat. This masterpiece of pointillism uses small dots of pure color to form a detailed, vibrant scene. The structured yet luminous composition gives an almost dreamlike quality to a moment of leisure. It showcases Seurat's scientific approach to color and perception. The 20th century. Modern art. Search for meaning in art. Expressionism. Expressionism conveyed emotional intensity and subjective perspectives. Example, The Blue Rider by Wassily Kandinsky. This abstract painting uses dynamic shapes and bold colors to evoke emotion rather than depict a specific scene. Kandinsky believed that color and form could communicate feelings like music. The movement's focus on personal expression influenced later abstract art. J. Surrealism. Surrealism explored dreams and the subconscious. Example, The Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali. This painting features melting clocks draped over a surreal landscape, symbolizing the fluidity and distortion of time. The dreamlike setting reflects Dali's interest in Freudian psychology and the subconscious mind. Its eerie, almost hallucinatory quality captures the essence of surrealism. Social realism. Social realism depicted the struggles of the working class. Example, Guernica by Pablo Picasso. This powerful anti-war painting portrays the horrors of the bombing of Guernica during the Spanish Civil War. The distorted, anguished figures express suffering and chaos through a monochromatic palette. It remains one of the most haunting and politically charged artworks of the 20th century. Experimentation with form. L. Impressionism. Impressionism captured fleeting moments with light and color. Example, Ballet Rehearsal by Edgar Degas. This painting depicts ballet dancers in practice, using soft brushstrokes and unusual perspectives. The composition feels spontaneous, as if capturing a moment in time. Degas' fascination with movement and light is evident in the lively, informal arrangement. Fauvism. Fauvism used bold colors and strong brushwork. Example: Woman with a Hat by Henri Matisse. This vivid portrait features exaggerated colors that defy naturalism, emphasizing emotional expression. The bold brushstrokes give the painting a dynamic, almost chaotic energy. It was a revolutionary departure from traditional portraiture. Pointillism. Pointillism used dots of color to create images. Example: The Circus by Georges Seurat. This later work by Seurat showcases his meticulous dot technique in depicting a vibrant circus scene. The carefully placed colors create a luminous, animated effect. The structured yet lively composition reflects the energy of a performance. Cubism. Cubism fragmented objects into geometric shapes. Example: The Violin and Candlestick by George Braque. This painting deconstructs a violin and candlestick into overlapping angular planes. The subdued color palette emphasizes form over detail. It is an example of analytical cubism, which focused on breaking down subjects into their fundamental shapes. Futurism. Futurism emphasized speed, movement, and modern technology. Example: Unique Forms of Continuity in Space by Umberto Boccioni. This abstract bronze sculpture portrays a figure in motion symbolizing progress and energy. The fluid, exaggerated forms evoke a sense of rapid movement. It represents the futurist obsession with dynamism and the machine age. Abstract art. Abstract art focused on non-representational forms. Example: Black Square by Kazimir Malevich. This radical work consists of a simple black square on a white background, reducing art to its purest form. It rejects traditional representation in favor of a new visual language. It symbolizes the beginning of suprematism and pure abstraction. Op art. Op art used optical illusions to create movement. Example: Zebra by Victor Vasarely. This black and white artwork uses bold, curved lines to create an optical illusion of depth and movement. The illusionary effect tricks the eye into seeing three-dimensional forms. It exemplifies the op art movement's fascination with perception. Pop art. Pop art used imagery from popular culture. Example: Marilyn Diptych by Andy Warhol. This artwork features repeated images of Marilyn Monroe, emphasizing the commercialization of celebrity culture. The contrast between vibrant colors and fading black and white images suggests both glamour and impermanence. It reflects pop art's critique of mass production and consumerism. Psychedelic art. Psychedelic art featured surreal, colorful imagery. Example: Concert posters of the 1960s. These posters featured swirling patterns, distorted typography, and vivid neon colors. They visually represented the counterculture movement and the influence of psychedelic substances. The exaggerated, dreamlike designs mirrored the era's experimental spirit. Art history continues to evolve, reflecting societal changes, technological advancements, and shifts in artistic philosophies. From prehistoric cave paintings to contemporary digital art, each movement has contributed to the rich tapestry of human creativity and expression.